G'day guys and girls, welcome back to SideQuest Gaming, where we take a look at both old games and new to try and uncover some of those little hidden gems you might want to take a look and give a crack for yourself. Today we're doing our weekly wrap up, where we are having a bit of a overlook at some of the titles that we've looked at throughout the week. The links to my first impression videos will be below for anyone who wants to go a bit deeper. Let's dive in. Star Wars Empire at War. First up, Star Wars Empire at War is a real-time strategy classic where you command either the Empire or the Rebels in a galactic conquest across space battles and planetary ground invasions. Mechanics are split between real-time tactical combat and a strategic galaxy map where you manage resources, fleets, and territory. Space battles are the real highlight, with Star Destroyers, Mon Calamari cruisers, and fighter swarms clashing in cinematic fashion. Visually, it's dated but still charming, and with mods it holds up shockingly well. The sound design is top tier, with authentic blaster effects and voice lines that pull you straight into the universe. Even today, Empire at War remains one of the best Star Wars strategy experiences out there. For the price, especially if it's on sale, it's an absolute must-have for RTS and Star Wars fans alike. Down with the Ship. Down with the Ship is a strategic auto-battler where you design a heavily armed spaceship. You buy upgrades, weapons and armor to lay out your ship between each battle via a drafting system, and then you unleash your ship in a quick, fast-paced PvP auto-battle to see whether your synergies reign superior. You then return to the shop to buy, place and repeat. The speed of the auto-battler works in the game's favour, not overstaying its welcome, and instead the focus is on the synergies you manage to create on your own ship. You have no active abilities you can access during the battle, and this can lead to a bit of a sense of disempowerment during the battle, but the speed of the battle makes up for it. Overall, this is a fun little title, but it is niche and likely only to appeal to fans of the auto-battler genre. Stone Shard. Stone Shard is a hardcore, turn-based RPG roguelike set in a grim medieval fantasy world. The genre here is a tactical survival RPG with a big emphasis on resource management, injuries and permadeath. The setting is bleak, villages torn apart by war, dungeons crawling with bandits and monsters, and a constant fight just to stay alive. Mechanically, it's turn-based grid combat with a punishing survival system. You need to manage your hunger, pain, sanity and wounds, and morale alongside the usual RPG stats. Every decision feels heavy because mistakes are costly. It's very similar to Quasimorph in its mechanics if you played that title, just set in a fantasy medieval setting. The art style is gorgeous pixel art, detailed but gritty. It's actually one of the best looking pixel art games out there in a long time. This is not a casual game, it's for players who want a challenge and don't mind setbacks. Value is excellent if you enjoy roguelikes and survival systems, though it can feel overwhelming if you're used to more forgiving RPGs. King Arthur Legion 9. King Arthur Legion 9 is a tactical RPG with a unique twist. It combines Arthurian legend with Roman military influence, blending myth and history. Genre-wise, it's a mix of squad-based tactics and RPG narrative choices. You're leading a Roman legion facing both rebels and supernatural threats. It's a unique spin that gives the Arthurian setting fresh flavour. Mechanics are tactical turn-based combat where you manage Roman heroes with different abilities and equipment that you level up over time. There are RPG elements too, morality choices, dialogue decisions and campaign progression, though these feel a bit lighter than a traditional open-ended RPG. It's not as sprawling as some of the larger tactic games, but for fans of Arthurian myth or strategy RPGs, it's a solid mid-tier game. Firewatch. Firewatch is a narrative adventure game set in the Wyoming wilderness during the late 1980s. It's very much in the walking simulator genre, but it stands out as one of the best. The setting is stunning. National parks rendered in vibrant, painterly art style that feels warm yet isolating. You play as Henry, a fire lookout, with your only connection to the outside world being Delilah, your supervisor, via radio. Mechanically, it's light exploration and dialogue choices, with the story carrying the weight. What makes it shine is the relationship you build through conversation. Witty, heartfelt, sometimes uneasy, and incredibly relatable. The art is breathtaking in its simplicity, and the sound design is subtle yet immersive, rustling trees, distant thunder, and the crackle of your radio. It's a short game, 4 to 5 hours, but the experience is incredibly powerful. For narrative lovers, this is absolutely worth the price, even more so if it's on sale. It's a must-play if you want games that feel like interactive stories and you really want that emotional connection. Skull Horde. Skull Horde is a fast-paced action roguelike where you battle endless waves of undead enemies in a dark fantasy setting with your little undead squad. Like Vampire Survivors, it's addictive in its simplicity, each run unlocking different upgrades that you try out for your character build. The difference is that you are upgrading your squad of undead rather than your main character. It is an enjoyable pick up and play game, especially if you like arcade style roguelikes, though it is an open question as to whether this game has a great deal of replayability. Worth a look if you want a different take on a Vampire Survivor-like. Anyway, this has been SideQuest Gaming, and that's been the weekly wrap-up. Which one of the games is calling your name? The links to my first impression videos will be below if you want to have a closer look. Drop a comment, hit a like if you enjoyed the breakdown, and don't forget to subscribe for daily videos. Thanks for watching. As always, have an amazing day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.